The pathway to the heart is by healing from everything that isn't the heart. So if we want to move into this space, we have to start looking at, well, what's in the way of love? Well, the things that I feel guilty about, the things that I feel shameful about, the ways that I call myself unworthy, the ways that I've interpreted past experiences to mean something that isn't true. And until we actually look at those things and learn how to release them from the body, which releasing the energy from the body and coming to a space of resolve in your mind are two different things. Once we can release the energy from the body, then we feel the inner freedom. So the premise of what we could say shadow work is that you're already love. Like you were born love, I was born love. And then as we have our experiences, we start picking up different experiences that we interpret as being shameful, guilty, anger, grief, all these different things. But because we're not taught at a young age what I believe emotional intelligence is, which is knowing how to intelligently express an emotion without hurting somebody else, since we're not shown how to release the energy out of our bodies, out of our energy bodies, we hold on to them. And then we get to a point where well, how could I could tell somebody, hey, you're love, and be like, I'm not love. What the fuck are you talking about? Because you've picked up so much in your life that tells you otherwise. So the pathway back to love is, again, okay, I need to start looking at all of the ways that I'm unloving with myself and others, and learn how to transmute and transform these experiences from shame into love, from guilt into gratitude, from these higher emotions that are available to us in our own perceptions, and with a wider view of this reality that we find ourselves in, Yeah, so I'll give you 4 ways, and those that are listening, here's a simple exercise. So I call these the 4 walls of dishonesty, and I actually developed these when I was addicted to porn, but then I started to realize that we're addicted to not being ourselves, and these are the things that we do. So the first wall is hiding. Right? So hiding is a symptom of shame. Like we only hide things from others that we feel that we're going to receive judgment about or we don't feel good about. And typically shame is what keeps it behind the curtain. And then we have denying. Now, what you're talking about just a second ago is denial, when our conscious mind denies the experiences of the body. So whenever you are, let's say like driving is a good time where like your subconscious becomes open. Like let's say you're driving and there's a couple of like memories that pop up for you. And these memories have a certain emotional charge to them. Maybe it's a loss of a loved one or a breakup, or maybe you fucked up and like you just never got forgiveness or even admitted that you were wrong. And it just like pops up and it keeps running. That's literally the energy in your energy body, and you could say your physical body, is informing your conscious mind of unresolved experiences. And what the body wants to do, because your body's like, man, this vehicle is a vehicle of love. I'm not meant to hold on to these things. I'm letting you know that this is still here so we can get rid of it and we can move on. But the conscious mind says, no, I don't want to, I'm not unworthy. I'm not a bad person. I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not that. And literally pushes the energy back into the body and then keeps it stored there. And then people will start having these repetitive thoughts, right? And it's like, okay, it's literally signaling you, man. Like it's trying to release it. Just look at it. So that's the one way that our mind really does. Is it's interesting because the thing about denial is that denial empowers it to exist. Because if there was nothing to deny, there would be nothing. So the denial actually prolongs it to occur. Then the third one is just lying, straight up lying. But how we lie in a sense of honesty, the way I define honesty is being one with what is. And if you look at the word honest, there's the word one is in between it. And what that really means is that when we're honest, we speak with specific language, and we also are... We're not seeing it in perceptions or illusions. We're seeing the truth of the experience. Like this is what actually happened. So if you use that as a lens and say, okay, well, anything other than that is lying. Well, shit. If you come home from work and, maybe your wife is like, hey, you seem like you're down. You all right? And you're like, yeah, I'm fine. It's a fucking lie. Right there, that's a lie. And in that moment, not only are you lying, but you're also robbing your partner of the ability to be there for you. And most women, in a sense of this case, that's what they want to nurture. Like, oh, you've had a bad day, let me nurture you. Oh, okay, no, you're actually taking that away, right? So you can start to look at lying in that way. And then the last one is trying. And people look at trying as like, well, how is trying dishonest? Well, ultimately, you're trying to be something that you're not. And if anything that you try to be that you're not being, like there's a gap between your conditioned self and your authentic self. And mainly it's your conditioning. It's this ego or conditioned self. And also it's a really good cop-out for your mind. Because let's say like you want to achieve something great and whatever that is that you want to achieve, and somebody's like, hey, how's it going? You're like, oh, I'm trying. Like in that moment, you feel pretty good. But the truth of the matter is that you're not most likely doing everything that you need to do. People that are actually doing it, even if they haven't achieved the results, they don't use the word try. Because they know I'm waking up every single day. I'm taking care of my body. I'm making content. If you're a content creator, I'm managing my team. I'm having my meetings. Like I'm on it. And because I'm on it, I don't use the word try because I know that all I have to do is be committed to this plan and be consistent with it. And eventually that result will come. So a simple equation for results is that consistency plus effort over time equals results. If I'm consistent with effort over time, the result will occur. And if you just apply that to, it could be fitness, it could be anything in your life, like that's what happens. But most people question the plan, they question themselves, they question all these different things that prevents them from being simply consistent.